My YouTube channel has been posted for a couple of days now, and I have to tell you, this is not a journey for the faint of heart. The emotional roller coaster that you go on when you start publishing your work, it's real and it's hard. I would say that the first thing that is very hard to go through is when you start sending your invites out to people, you might have no response. People that you think are your greatest friends, your greatest supporters, your family, and you want this instantaneous, yes, I've watched your videos, I've subscribed to your channel, but guess what? These people have lives. What you are doing is not necessarily the number one priority. So you do need to kind of gear yourself up for that delay of response time. The second reason why it is such an emotional up and down roller coaster is you will have some people that you are just sure will respond and will watch your channel and subscribe and support you, and they never do. They don't show up for you at all. And that is also hard to take. I really struggled with these kind of couple of issues in the first few hours of sending messages out. And I came to the realization that it isn't necessarily their content. This isn't the journey that they are necessarily going on. And that's something that you really have to remember. If you decide to launch your YouTube channel by starting with your close-knit people, they may not be your ideal audience. So now that I've already launched my YouTube channel, I'm realizing there's really two ways that you can go about doing this. There's the post and go method or the post and invite method. The first option was post and go. And that's where you create your first video or maybe your first blog post or your first podcast, and you just post it into the void, but you don't tell anyone about it. Because there's a saying that the first 20, maybe even 50 episodes of whatever it is that you're creating aren't really that great. And so the idea is that you will just go ahead, create, improve, and you just post it out there just to get into the rhythm of creating, learning, improving, and posting. And you're not really worrying about your views. You're not worrying about any of that at that point in time. And there's some pros and cons to that. The pro is that nobody's really seeing all of your first tries that may not be your best work. Now, the con of that side, that because you're not really getting any views, you might just get kind of depressed and go, what's the point of this, and give up. Now, the other option is post and invite. And that's essentially what I did. If you saw my other video about how I accidentally launched my YouTube channel, you'll know I kind of sort of had a post and invite launch, but a little revised. How about you? When you launched your first blog or YouTube channel, or maybe you're just thinking about it, which option did you go with? Post and go or post and invite? I would love to hear your stories or what you're planning to do and to see how things went. But let's kind of back things up a little bit. Regardless of which way you decide to launch your channel or your creative work, emotions are high and low and all over the place. If you're like me, you have so many thoughts running through your head that are, why am I doing this? Who did I think I was? I'm not good enough at doing this. This will never be successful. I'm wasting my time. So many crazy thoughts going through your brain. And through all of that muddle in your head, the big question that is going to rise up that you need to answer for yourself is, am I really doing this? And I have to be honest with you. I was getting on the fence with all of the things that were getting in my head. I have a lot of family obligations and things going on this summer. And I was thinking, how am I going to keep up with this? Why did I start this? And that's one way to get back to answering that question. What is your why? Why were you starting this channel in the first place? And for me, to help other creators get their work out into the world despite all of the challenges, whether it's health, whether it's family, whether it's your own procrastination or your own disbelief in your dreams or your abilities to pull something off. And so that's the why that is keeping me going on this journey. The second thing that happened today that really helped me solidify my answer to that question was found in an email that I received from Dan Coe, who is a successful content creator. And this is what he said in his post. Everyone wants to be a creator. Nobody wants to accept that it's a business. And because of that, you have to learn every single skill necessary to run a business. People hide behind the term authenticity, so they don't have to improve their communication in writing, videos, designs, etc. That really caught my attention because it made me realize I was moving towards team whining. And I want to move in the direction of team thriving. And I needed to make a commitment that this was something that I was going to be in for the long haul. And in order to do that, it made me go, he's right. I need to up my skills. I need to start looking at my video production, my titling, my SEO, my video skills, all of the things, my communication. How do I talk with you so that you feel connected to me? How can I say things in a way that inspire you to action? How can I not say the word so many times? Because I'm terrible at that. There I go again. What it comes down to is this. What is the action I'm going to take this week that is going to help me answer that question in a positive way of, am I really in this? And I've decided for myself that the first thing I need to do is to create a better organizational system for keeping track of my ideas, the research that I'm doing, the videos that I've created, how are they doing? And then also, how am I going to evaluate how they did and what's the 1% thing that I'm going to do better on the next thing? Because I can tell you, it feels very overwhelming. You can watch all of these different YouTube videos about what you should be doing and all of the things you have to do in order to be successful, and it's too many things. At least for me, I want to just give up because it seems impossible. But there is a theory of the 1% better rule. What's the one thing that you can do to improve your blog post, your podcast, the next chapter of the book you're writing, or your YouTube channel? What's the one thing you can do to up your skill or make it just a little bit better? So that's what I'm going to work on. That's my action step for this week, is to create a system so that I can kind of keep track of, this is what I did, this is how it worked out, and this is the one thing I want to try and do better in the next video. And hey, if I come up with a good way of keeping all of this organized and tracking my progress, I'll be sure to share it with you in the next YouTube Journeys episode. And there might even be a free download. We'll see what happens. How about you? What's your 1%? What's your 1% difference that you're going to try and make to improve what you're trying to do in your creative work? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And this talk about 1% or tiny steps is a perfect segue into the next upcoming Thrive Challenge, which is all about the power of tiny steps and some surprising research, as well as my own stories about how very tiny steps can turn into very big results. So to end, I really encourage you to take one tiny step towards your dreams today, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.